Imagine this. Someone hands you $100. Not once, not twice, every single month. Most people would say that receiving an extra $100 couldn't possibly make them poor. After all, it's only $100. It's not a luxury vacation. It's not a sports car. It's not a designer handbag. It's just $100. But here's the uncomfortable truth. That innocent little $100 habit may be the single biggest reason millions of people never build wealth. Not because $100 is a lot of money, but because what it represents quietly rewires your entire financial future. The scary part? Almost nobody notices it's happening. They blame inflation, they blame low salaries, they blame bad luck. Meanwhile, the real problem repeats itself month after month, purchase after purchase, year after year. By the end of this video, you'll understand why one simple habit quietly keeps ordinary people trapped in the cycle of living paycheck to paycheck, and why the wealthy almost never think about money the same way. If you enjoy videos that uncover the hidden psychology behind money, wealth, and everyday decisions, subscribe to Cootie Wealth Creation. Every week, we break down the invisible habits that shape your financial future. Let's begin. Most people believe becoming broke happens because of one huge mistake: buying an expensive car, taking out a massive loan, making a terrible investment. But that's rarely how financial struggles begin. In reality, most people slowly spend themselves into poverty, not with $1,000 purchases, with $100 decisions. Think about your own life: a weekend shopping trip, new clothes you didn't really need, the latest phone accessory, dinner at an expensive restaurant, a few online impulse purchases, a subscription you forgot existed. None of these feel dangerous. Each one seems completely harmless. Your brain actually encourages this thinking. Psychologists call it mental accounting. Instead of seeing your finances as one connected system, your brain separates every purchase into its own tiny category. This is only $100. This is only $20. This is only $50. Because each purchase feels small, your brain never experiences the emotional pain of spending thousands. But mathematically, those tiny purchases aren't separate. They're adding together every single month, and that's where the trap begins. Have you noticed something strange? Buying something for $99 feels dramatically easier than spending $1,000, even though both are simply money leaving your account. That's because your brain doesn't evaluate spending logically. It evaluates spending emotionally. $100 sits inside what psychologists call a safe spending zone. It's expensive enough to feel rewarding, but cheap enough to avoid guilt. Companies know this. That's why countless products cost around this range. Shoes, headphones, kitchen gadgets, fitness equipment, fashion items, video games, decorations, luxury skincare, restaurant meals for two. Everything seems designed to fit comfortably inside your emotional comfort zone. You don't debate the purchase. You don't research alternatives. You simply swipe your card, and your brain rewards you with a small burst of dopamine. For a few hours, you feel successful. You feel happier. You feel like you've treated yourself. But then something fascinating happens. The excitement fades. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. Humans quickly become accustomed to new possessions. The shoes become ordinary. The gadget becomes another object collecting dust. The expensive dinner becomes another memory. The happiness disappears. But the missing money never comes back. So your brain searches for another purchase, another reward, another $100. The cycle repeats. Not because you're irresponsible, because your brain was designed to chase novelty. Here's where things become shocking. Imagine two people. Both earn exactly the same salary. Person A spends $100 every week on things that provide temporary happiness. Person B invests that same $100 every week. Nothing dramatic happens in the first month or the first year. In fact, Person A probably looks happier. They're wearing nicer clothes, they have newer gadgets, they post beautiful photos online. Meanwhile, Person B looks almost boring. Old phone, simple wardrobe, no flashy lifestyle. Most people assume Person A is richer, but time completely changes the story. Because money has a hidden superpower. Money can produce more money. Every dollar you spend has two costs. The first cost is obvious. You lose $100. The second cost is invisible. You lose everything that $100 could have become. This is called opportunity cost, and it's one of the most expensive concepts most people never learn. Imagine investing $400 every month instead of spending it. Over 20 years, that isn't just $96,000. With compound growth, it can become several times larger. The wealthy understand this instinctively. They don't ask, "What can I buy?" They ask, "What is this money capable of becoming?" That's a completely different way of thinking. Now add social media to the equation. Suddenly, you aren't comparing yourself to your neighbors anymore. You're comparing yourself to millions of strangers. Every scroll shows someone traveling, someone buying a luxury car, someone wearing designer clothes, someone eating at expensive restaurants. Your brain interprets these images as normal life, even though they're carefully selected highlights. Psychologists call this social comparison theory. Humans naturally measure success relative to other people, not objective reality. The result? You begin spending to keep up with people you'll never meet, buying things you never wanted, until someone else owned them. The $100 habit suddenly becomes much more frequent. A new outfit because everyone else has one, a nicer watch, better sneakers, a luxury coffee every morning, premium subscriptions, another shopping haul. Individually, none of these purchases seem dangerous. Together, they quietly steal your financial future. Ironically, many wealthy people do the opposite. The richer they become, the less interested they are in impressing strangers. Because real wealth doesn't need constant proof. Only insecurity does. So what separates people who build wealth from people who remain financially stuck? It's not intelligence. It's not luck. It's not even income. It's one habit. Before spending money, wealthy people ask a different question. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" they ask, "Is this worth delaying my future freedom?" That's an entirely different conversation. Imagine every $100 purchase standing beside a future investment, a future vacation without debt, a future home, a future business, a future emergency fund, a future retirement. Every purchase becomes a trade, not between money and an object, but between today and tomorrow. Once you begin thinking this way, impulse spending becomes dramatically harder because you stop seeing price tags. You start seeing opportunity. Here's the truth. $100 isn't what keeps people broke. The habit is. The habit of chasing temporary happiness instead of long-term freedom. The habit of rewarding every emotion with a purchase. The habit of confusing consumption with progress. Every wealthy person eventually discovered something most people never realize. Financial freedom isn't built through one extraordinary decision. It's built through thousands of ordinary ones. One purchase declined, one investment made, one unnecessary expense avoided, one small decision repeated again, and again, and again. Because the road to wealth rarely looks exciting. It looks almost invisible. Quiet choices, patient decisions, delayed gratification. The people who master these habits often appear ordinary for years. Then one day, everyone calls them lucky. But luck had very little to do with it. It was simply the result of hundreds of $100 decisions made differently. So the next time you're about to spend $100, pause for just a moment. Ask yourself one simple question. Am I buying a moment, or am I investing in a future? Your answer may shape far more than your bank account. It may shape the rest of your life. If this video changed the way you think about money, leave a comment with the words "future over feelings." I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe now for more videos on the psychology of money, wealth, and the hidden habits that quietly shape our lives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.